Hey everybody, it's Jorik. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well, having a fantastic day. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about mortgages here in Portugal and some of the basics, because more of you have been contacting or looking for content about purchasing a property as opposed to renting. Prices in Lisbon are going up for both rent and purchase price, but across Portugal, based upon where you are in the world, many of you, or I'll say more of you, are considering a purchase, whereas in the past you've considered a rent situation. So when you're looking to purchase, I wanted to give you some general guidelines. Please note as I give you these guidelines, these are not exact, they're fluid, and not every situation would end up being this way. But I want to say, generally speaking, if you're a non-resident of Portugal and you're looking to come here and purchase property, here are some things that you need to think about when you're looking to do so and you're looking at different banks and your options for mortgages. So first, mortgages here, they have fixed mortgages as well as variable mortgages. So the two different mortgages are available to you based upon your qualifications. If you can qualify, you can get either one, whichever one fits better in your budget. We ended up getting a fixed mortgage because we wanted a flat rate for as long as we had the life of the mortgage, just because of things now like economic uncertainty, interest rates going up. Those are things we don't have to worry about because we have a flat mortgage. So that's something to each their own. Some people prefer a variable, some people prefer fixed. But you have both those kinds here in Portugal to choose from. Now, the amount down as far as the deposit on a property, generally speaking, for a non-resident, it is 30% or more of the property value you need to put down for financing. Now, in some cases, if you are a resident, so let's say it's a second mortgage, or if you've already established a banking relationship here in Portugal with a property and you get a second property, oftentimes they will do 20%. There are some rare examples where they'll go below that. But I would plan on having at least 30% available to put down on a deposit, because it seems like in talking to several different banks, that's what they're requiring. Actually, when we were coming several years ago and put money down, we needed to put 40% or more. But now it's 30 for the most part in most banks that do the home mortgages. So you have, again, the fixed or variable mortgage. You have how much you need to put down. The next is loan terms. Again, generally speaking, 25 to 30 years. In fact, most of the banks that we had talked to about a mortgage was 25-year loans. Not many were doing more than that. There were a couple that were offering 30, but most were 25-year loans. Now, that's tied into the next piece here, which is the maximum term of a loan. And this is something I want to make sure all of you that are coming on the D7 visa, so the assumption is that you're retired or close to retirement, where you're older. You're probably in your late 50s, 60s, maybe even early 70s. The maximum loan has to be paid off by your 75th birthday. I haven't found a bank here in Portugal yet, and I talked to 13 banks. All 13, 75, the loan matures or the last loan payment needed to be made by the 75th birthday. So part of the mortgage that we secured, I would have turned 75 between the 25th and 26th year of a loan. So that's the maximum loan term that we would have been given. So that kind of goes to the previous point. But for many of you that are looking at maybe purchasing versus renting, you do need to, and if you're going to finance versus just paying cash and being done with it, if you will finance the property, you do need to realize that it will stop at 75. If someone has a bank or more banks that can go to 80 or 85, please put them in the comments. but all of the major banks that I spoke with, which again, the top 13 in Portugal, was 75 was the maximum loan that they would do. So that's very important, because when you think you're going to be financing something over, let's say, a 30-year loan, well, if you move here at the age of 65, that loan is now going to be either 10 or 9 years, depending on when you turn 75. So it is something that you need to be aware of, and I don't think many people are when they're considering a mortgage. So I want to make sure that you are aware of that. And then the last point is a simple point, is like, what's the interest rate tied to? And the interest rate's tied to the Euribor. So if you're looking at that particular rate, I put a link in the description so you'll be able to, when you're looking at property or when you're interested in actually finding mortgage rates with different banks, you can check out this website and just see what it is currently when you're watching this video, so you'll be able to make an informed decision and understand where you are, what the interest rate currently is, because depending on where you are in the world, it may be tied to a different index and a different rate. So in Portugal, it's the Euribor rate. So want to make sure that you're aware of that. So again, a video on kind of some of the intricacies, some of the need to knows when looking at a mortgage. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope as you're looking and pursuing Portugal to live, and you might be considering a purchase versus rent, I hope this video is helpful. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the videos, and enjoy your travels.